Okay. Oh, right. Hey guys, it's our third episode of our podcast. Thank you for tuning in once again. So, do you want to start us off today?
Yes. Um, so, I was just on my phone as usual, scrolling through Instagram and my feed, which is basically all
BTS
Bangtan, the K-pop group that's quite popular, I'd say. Just like 0.01 of the entire world population loves them. But anyways, I was thinking about it
Wait,
and
really? Okay, actually, yeah, that makes sense. That's
like
correct. Yeah, you're right.
143 million.
Wow. Wow. Crazy. Anyways, continue.
Mhm. So like I was just thinking about their message and kind of what they're saying, and it really got me thinking, like sometimes I think about what are so many of the world's problems. Like recently, we went through a shooting at one of our neighboring schools, and
Mhm.
there's also been this pandemic, and just like more and more we hear about people just doing unexplainable things. Maybe it's more news coverage, or I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Then I'm like, why? Like, why does this happen?
Like I feel like as media has grown, like the more crazy things are happening and being broadcasted, you know?
Yeah, but I feel like it's just with the rise of social media and technology, people have become like really isolated, and sometimes it's difficult to kind of get in touch with others. And
hmm
it really got me thinking, like, why do all of these happen? Why would someone decide to go to a school and bring a gun? Why would people decide to take their own lives? Why do people find it so hard to be alone in these times, like during this pandemic, until they're forced to? And it was just like, oh, maybe it's because of mental health,
hmm Yeah.
and because nobody is born or taught to kind of like,
hmm
I don't know how to say it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like to have a mental illness is like you don't that doesn't just, like no one's born wanting to go shoot a school, obviously, right?
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, like I took psychology this year and like there's definitely it's more environmental than genetics. But like genetics do play a role in some of these, but not like all the time. But like you would just like I just wonder like how much it is genetics and how much it isn't. And like how like what kind of environment fosters like if you are genetically more disposed to this, does are you more vulnerable to a bad environment, you know what I'm saying? And also like with stuff like school shootings, they always like when they the Connecticut one, like the really, really bad one,
Yeah.
or like the two high schools. I forgot which one it is. It sounds so bad, but I forgot what the name of that school is, which is the problem. Like I remember, like they always broadcast. They almost like glorify the shooters. Like these shooters planned this for ages. Like these are their diaries, and then like you see on websites, like girls will glorify these shooters and be like, "Wow, he was so hot! Like he shot up this school," and it's like, why are you doing that? And then like these kids who are already just like in a really bad mental state, they see this on the news, they're like, oh, like maybe like I should do that. And I'll be like, I don't know. Like I really don't know what goes through their minds. But like the social media, like they never I don't even know what the victims' names of who died in that shooting are. I like know the names of the two shooters, which I'm not gonna say because that would defeat the whole purpose of me saying this. But it's just like sad that I don't even know the victims. They should be saying the victims' names, not the shooters' names, and they always glorify this stuff. And like with social media, and so when these people who are in a not great place, they like feel, I don't know, they maybe feel they get become influenced by these things, you know?
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure if it's like, or like where it come from, or if social media has like a super big role in these ideas, but I feel like everything can be related back to mental health. And I feel like this is just such an important topic because like school just emphasizes academics so much. Like
Hmm.
do math, do history, whatever it is, because these subjects are what will help you make money in life, right? And
Yeah.
like success and success is happiness, right? And I feel like we're just taught that over and over again, but it's important to remember that like mental health is also important because you can be successful, but if you're not mentally healthy, then it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like our society is, you know, there's taking more steps towards making campus more mental. Well, I feel like right now it's only on the surface level. Like we have a wellness center, you know, but I don't feel like the importance of mental health is really stressed enough. Like our teachers will give us like 3 hours of notes and they'll be like, oh, sleep well and like take care of yourself, but then they'll still give us that much homework. It's like the awareness right now is like surface level. Like people are realizing that it's important, but it's not like actually being implemented and like really thought about, you know?
Yeah,
And like there's so much pressure on students right now to get into college, a good college, and like it used to be like, oh, you got all good grades in school, now you can go to a good college. Now it's like, and then it was like, now you need to go to school and volunteer. Now it's like you need to go to school, get good grades, volunteer, you know, cure cancer, and then you can get into good school. It's like this pressure is really hard on high school students, and they just expect us to, you know, bear it because like competition grows as time goes on, and like, you know, the society advances, and as society advances, like it gets harder and harder to, like, everyone, you know, gets more access to resources, everyone can get better grades, so they're just trying to find a way to like bottleneck the system. And like they don't, and I don't know, I just feel like it's very like, surface level caring about our mental health, you know.
yeah. And even like with the wellness center, when nobody really uses it, like everybody needs it, but nobody's like, oh, that's serious. Like only some people do. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
how, because it's just like something that's been engraved in our minds, I feel like. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just our thoughts like, oh, it's not that important. Like, just,
Yeah.
but I, I feel like we need to be taught this in like elementary school, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And also, like, I don't know, there's this really weird stigma around mental illness right now. Like, on one hand, people are like, make jokes, they're like, I'm depressed, or like, I have anxiety. And then, like, and then you feel like, oh, like, I don't want to offend anyone by actually saying I'm depressed or I have an issue going on at home. And I like, because then you feel like you're undermining someone else's actual mental illness when everyone's matters. But like, if you don't have mental illness, you shouldn't be able to say it because, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like a lot of people use it as a joke, which undermines like real people's problems. But then when real people have problems, they feel like their not problems aren't big enough because they don't want to undermine other people's, and then it's a cycle, and it just ends up everyone just doesn't really talk about it, and everyone just makes jokes about it, but they don't really like actually address anything, especially guys. Like guys, the mental illness around guys is so much worse because they can't really talk about it as much because of, you know, like toxic masculinity and like having, you know, that's a girly thing. And it's just, it's really sad. It's
Yeah.
definitely getting better, but like still. That's why we like BTS, because, or like, you know, the K-pop group that has, anyways, because, you know, they are aware of this stuff, but they're like, they set a good example for males. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's like what brings me to what I was talking about in the beginning. BTS and their message. Like it's so rare to find such influencers, I guess, just using their platform to spread love and just like this positive message to love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's just what sets BTS apart from so many others. Like, sure, Justin Bieber made a song called Love Yourself, but like, I feel like that was more for himself than his fans, you know?
Yeah, and the song isn't about him. It's not about mental illness. It's about his ex who loves herself more than him. So it is nothing to do with mental illness. But yeah.
Like, it's just how, saying with more power comes more responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I appreciate about BTS. Like they're just using themselves to set a good example and just being such great role models for everyone.
Mm-hmm. And like addressing important issues in their songs rather than, singing about sex, drugs, money
Mm-hmm.
is like what every top artist loves to do
Yeah.
these days. And like it makes it seem like the only things that matter in life are those three things. But like, BTS actually sings about like mental illness and actually caring about yourself, and it just is a lot better. And even though I don't understand their language, like their music still resonates.
Yeah. Transcends language barriers. But
Yeah.
honestly, when people are like, oh my gosh, it's like Korean, how can you understand that? It's like, but how do you think the rest of the world is listening to English songs? Like,
Yeah, that's true. I
so
know.
like if they can do it, we can do like why do we think we're so up there that we can't do that? But yeah, and going back to like teaching about mental illness or like just mental health, I feel like this should be something that's taught in elementary school and just throughout school itself, not just like, oh, there's that, but like as an actual curriculum, like something that
Yeah.
teachers go through, like how to make sure that you are just caring for yourself and staying healthy, and also how to be kind to others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely like it's a very deep issue. Like definitely should have a curriculum, but also like they just need to take a lot of pressure off of kids, and doing that means like colleges that need to be less, I don't know, competitive. Like just like I don't know. I feel like the biggest toll for me would probably be that pressure. So like it's a pretty hard issue. But you're right. Like definitely need to be addressed a lot earlier rather than like sprinkling it in through like mental health weeks and like assemblies. Like they need to actually implement it more and earlier.
Yeah, and just like teach kids how to be just decent citizens,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people just don't know how to do that, and that kind of all accumulates and adds up to people just like doing such like just not being good people and inflicting harm on others.
Yeah.
Anyways, going back to BTS, just only love for our boys.
Seven boys.
Yeah, don't hate them.
Yeah. Does my burp pick up? It's fine.
Again.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, right. BTS.
Oh no, I was gonna say you can do it again because I didn't hear you the first time.
Oh, okay. Then it's fine. If you didn't hear me, then like it's fine. Yeah, I never burp. Viewers, if anyone's listening, girls don't burp. I'm just kidding. Girls do burp. Men cry. It's okay. We need to take down these gender norms.
Yeah, which leads me back to what I was gonna say about BTS.
Oh
Like,
yes.
yes, it's just BTS has kind of been such a great role model for kind of breaking down those gender norms. And I feel like a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, Harry Styles is doing that or
Yeah.
whoever. BTS has been doing this their almost
for
entire
a really
career.
long time.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I love Harry Styles and I really respect him for like wearing nail polish and all that and like, wearing feminine clothes. But like BTS like gets hate for doing the same thing. I just think it's not okay for like when a Western culture does something, suddenly it's cool and then like, you know, um Asian culture is like, oh, it's like but when any other race does it or ethnicity or whatever, it's like girly and like feminine, but like they are men but they can wear skirts. Have you seen that photo shoot where they wear skirts and it's like
Really? I didn't see
yeah,
that.
but
Look it up.
it's like they're not ashamed. Like I honestly think it's so like really attractive when a guy can be so comfortable with his sexuality and his masculinity that he like can say like, oh, like I think this guy is good looking, or oh, I feel sad today and I want to talk about it, or like I I I don't know, I just like, but then all guys, a lot of guys these days feel like they can't do any of that and have to be like, yeah, super macho and like, yeah, I don't cry, that's a girly thing. Whatever. Like I don't think other guys are attractive. Like I'm straight. I can't think any other guys remotely good looking.
Mhm.
You know?
And sorry, what were you gonna
No,
say?
yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. And then I'm like, but why is there this like stigma? And then it brings me back to, oh, because like things associated with being a girl is just like automatically less than being a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really infuriating.
Mhm. So like if girls play basketball and whatever, they won't be like, I mean, they'll be like a tomboy, but they won't really get like hate for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whereas a guy,
He does like ballet.
yeah, or like playing Barbies or something, it'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, you know. But it's always
Yeah.
if a guy, it's like whatever guys, because guys are just like the superior gender or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's I feel like that's like a lot of where toxic masculinity comes from. Like, don't deviate. Is that the word from what the typical
Norms.
should be?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
That's why y'all should listen to BTS.
It's okay. They probably already do. It's
Maybe.
so easy to become a fan. Like you just give in for 1 second and then bam, you're a fan.
Yeah. For me, it started with carpool karaoke. um, James Gordon. I was like, hey, it's funny. What kind of
It's not like that's not even one of their funniest videos, I don't think, but it's just seriously like any video you watch, you'll just fall in love.
I don't know why, but I thought that video was so funny.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty
I didn't know them and I thought they were that's when I was like training my brain to like tell them apart.
funny. Yeah,
I was like I would quiz myself. I'd pull up the picture and be like, you can do it.
yeah. I did that with Fake Love and Mic Drop, which is not a good idea. You should not use your music videos to tell them apart. That's why it took me so long. But
It's
like
not like accurate.
I like stared at a screen like this, and I'd be like, okay, okay, okay. That one's Jimin. Jimin was the first one I noticed, and I was like, okay, okay, which one's Jungkook? Which one's RM? Actually, I already knew which one RM is, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, it
I
was
would get
just
like all of them confused except RM. And yeah,
mm-hmm.
I would get Suga confused with like V and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And now
yeah.
I'm like, how could I ever confuse them? Same with Blackpink. I was like, which one is Rose, and which one is Jisoo?
Lisa was the only one that I like knew, or I could like. But then it wasn't as hard with Blackpink because like there's only four of them.
Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like other K-pop artists, they're pretty cool too. It's just like they don't
Mm-hmm.
have that powerful message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just haven't had the like heart to go look at another male K-pop group.
You gotta be loyal.
What'd you say?
You're so loyal.
I'm so loyal. I know. No, I listen to some TXT. You know, they do have good music.
Yeah, I like TXT too.
I like their music.
And for those of you who don't know, TXT is BTS's like younger brothers, also from Big Hit Entertainment, which is their company.
Yeah. I also like the girl group. Like, this is just turning into K-pop. Anyways, I also like the girl group Mamamoo or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? I like them.
Yes, Mamamoo
I
is the four girls with Kwasa, I think.
I love Hwasa. I think she like really doesn't like she's not the she breaks the Korean mold with
Mhm.
the K-pop idol and she's also really like pretty and you know badass. I just love that group because they just don't fit the mold of like K-pop idols like
And
females and
their
they really yeah.
company,
Would you say?
their company is small, like Big Hit at the beginning.
Yeah. And
It's
so
like
it's super like personal, like personalized music and videos. Kind of. I don't know. I don't really listen to them much, but like from what I've seen, I like Fossa, so I like the group.
yeah, I know they do like a lot of stuff differently than other groups because they just have more freedom.
Yeah.
So a lot of their stuff is like more westernized, I feel like also like some of their
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah. Yeah. And
But
their
that,
music is very like feminism pro.
mhm. Yeah, definitely Hwasa is she's like pretty, but not like the typical Korean pretty,
Mm-hmm.
which I do appreciate.
And she's very like, confident. Love it. I just like everyone in their group except I don't know some of them, but like I know Solar or whatever. I like her.
Yeah, I don't really know
I don't really know that much either. I've listened to like five of their songs.
just hip.
Yeah, I like hip. Oh my god, BTS reaction to that. I can't
I know.
don't look at them. Just kidding. I love it because they're so good. But
Yeah. Honestly, the thing with BTS and just K-pop in general is that it's so easy to get sucked into because you really do feel like you have a connection with these individuals, even though you don't know them at all. It's just that there's so much content out there, it feels like you know them like
mhm,
so well.
I know.
And just like really idolizing them, I guess, which is like, I don't know,
Yeah,
a bad thing, but yeah, as long as you don't like do it too much. I feel like it's
as long as you become a Sashang or
yeah.
whatever.
Suffering.
Like one of them, I read something like one time a Sashang threw a pad at an idol. Like
Not at BTS though.
yeah, not at BTS, but like you just any idol. That's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyways, if you ever want to check BTS out. Did I say that loud enough?
No, I don't know what you said.
Oh, BTS.
The best.
BTS is best. BTS is the best.
This has just become a BTS fan.
I know, but
It's fine. It started with anyway, so it's fine.
I feel yeah, it's like a sandwich. BTS mental health, love yourself. It ties together.
It does. They should just have us sponsor them and promote their albums.
Yeah, I don't think they need a.
I don't think.
They don't even need to like promote because they just
Yeah,
use like one picture and all of Army will be.
so big. I know.
Anyways, I think this concludes our third episode of Two Yellow.
Yellow girls.